Oh, hey. I just came back from a little walk. I was thinking about what I should say in this video. It's been one I've thought of making about for a little while. So if you don't know me, hi, I'm Cai Ping. I have about 5 years worth of experience in film and TV. I've worked for a variety of smaller production companies, YouTubers, and a couple of the big studios. And I wanted to make this video because I think people would love to get in film and like maybe don't know how. And I do think with Hollywood sort of opening up its doors a little bit in terms of like wanting to show more diversity, we need more diversity in making those movies and TV. Highly suggest watching the video I posted before this one. You know, where to get started. Like, I think that's what everybody thinks about. I'm not even sure if people think about working in film and TV after they watch a movie or TV show they really like. They probably think like, oh, I really like that. Maybe they walk out on the credits, or it's just not taught or said in their household growing up that, you know, that they can work in the film or TV industry. But I want to let you all know that the credits are full of people who work in the film and TV industry. Like, those are all positions in the process of making those things, and those are real people. And actually we'll go back to that, how we can use credits. But like how you get started, I feel like people might think, oh, it's like a job, right? So you apply to a job, maybe like an online application, you fill it out and it'll get sent to a recruiter. The recruiter will look at every single application and pull the person that they believe is the best fit for the job based on their experience. As of the past 5 years, that is not really the case that I've seen. It does happen to a couple of people once or twice, so yeah, fill out those applications. But like, for the most part, this industry is very much about who you know. I have once worked for someone who invited their friend's son, who wasn't interested in film, but their friend's father was a huge name in film, to shadow them for the day. And that opportunity would just not come by if my boss did not know the friend's father. So here's what you do if you don't know anybody, because I sure did not know anybody. What you want to do is, let's start generic first. If you're filling out an application and you send it in and you think, okay, great, let me just wait until the recruiter comes back to me. You should actually go to the recruiters, whether on LinkedIn, contact them a friendly way, like through LinkedIn, that, you know, everybody has access to. And you just send them a connection request with your message being like, hey, hi, well, make this more formal. Hey, I just applied for this position. I have experience in this and this that relates to that position. But I was wondering, you know, what you're really looking for, like personality-wise, that might not be in the description. Or ask something very specific to that job, because, you know, you don't want to be vague. You don't want to be vague because they'll have like a higher chance of like passing over the question. And reach out to like all of the recruiters that work at that company, because like if they say, oh, I'm not the recruiter for this position, let me bump you to this person, or let me let this other person know, that other person is going to hear your name again, and you'll have a more likely of a response to it, and you'll more likely have a response to your message. The second way, and related to LinkedIn, is to really just milk LinkedIn. What you want to do is go into a company that you're interested in working for. I wouldn't or you could go into like the company of the job that you apply to, and you want to make the world smaller for yourself based on what you have in common with people. Like, for example, punch in the school that you went to, high school or university. I think both work. Actually, high school feels very intimate. So if you can find someone that went to your high school that works at a company that you're interested in, okay. So, but basically what you want to do is punch that in, and then, LinkedIn will display the people that you went to the same school with. And, if their profile is public, check it out. See if you have anything in common with them, especially if it's outside of work, and send them a connection message saying, hey, I've always been interested in this company. I just applied to this job, and I wondered what it was like working there, and what your path was like since high school or university. Said high school or university. I went there too. And then you can also put in a little tidbit of the extra thing that you all have in common based on their profile. All of those LinkedIn messages the purpose of sending all of those LinkedIn connection requests is to hopefully get some time to talk with them over like video chat or in person or over the phone, whatever is most convenient from them. You want to establish a personal connection with them. A meeting is the best way to do that. Yeah, you are basically just trying to be as personal and human as possible while making as many connections as you can. Like, people say it's very connection based. Yes, but the word connection itself, there's a genuine part to it. Connecting with someone. There should be something solid there, if possible. It's not always going to work out like that. But when there is, like, you'll have that feeling that this is a good vibe and this could be a good, like, relationship. So, like, keep it up after that. That's a whole other video. The third thing you can do is to use the credits. I swear, I know it's going to be overwhelming, but like, go to your favorite movie or TV show's credits, look up the position that you're interested in working in and look those people up on LinkedIn, or if they're more on the artistic side, look those people up on Instagram and, send them an email or DM that way. Emails, I feel, are much better in this sphere. They just seem more professional than direct messages. It's so funny. I feel like film and TV, yeah, you want to be professional, but you also just want to be chill when you talk to these people too. They're gonna ask you like, so what are your favorite movies? Like, what are you watching right now? But maybe that's something else that we can talk about later too, like sort of like how to handle those chats or like job interviews. The last thing I have in terms of how to break in is for all of you students out there. Use your youth. What I'm trying to say is that relationships, like strong ones, take time, and also trust takes time. So you want to like reach out to people who could possibly guide you, and possibly recommend you for any openings they have in the future early on, so that they get to know you better and you get to know them too. If someone was a freshman that reached out to me and maintained that throughout their entire 4 years of college, and I got to see all of the projects they did, or like even if I didn't get to watch the whole thing, like just the consistency is very admirable. So yeah, I know that's a consistent person that's gonna try hard, and of course I would want to give them a chance. So that's at least how I think about it. I get so fired up talking about all this. What else can I tell you all? Let me review my notes and drink some water. So those are the ways I have for you all to get started. I do kind of want to let you all in on some, I guess I want to warn you all about some things about film and TV before you start working in it. I will say that the system is, in my opinion, is not really set up for success, at least right now. The pay for a starting position as an assistant, whether it's a production assistant or assistant to an executive, it's pretty low. It's almost, I would say, it's almost like impossible to survive on. So I want to start with that. And as you get closer and with any industry, as you rise, there are just less and less jobs available. I also think that it's kind of awkward and weird that this is such a connection-based space to work in when, most artists most people who want to work in film and TV are they're very in tune with their feelings, maybe introverted and like to, stay home and watch movies or stay home and draw or make art. And when you have to mingle to get a job, that's just completely the opposite. So that can be hard. And also, when you start, you're not really gonna be doing anything related to the art of the media, which can be exhausting and hard to work with and accept sometimes. It's a lot of logistic and administrative work. And because so many people want to try to do this, it can be easy for you to be replaced in the earlier positions. So bear that in mind. And also, because so many people want to do this, and thus I guess people are replaceable, and the money right now is just maybe it's just because it's a business as well, that can influence how you're treated. Meaning people can be pretty unpleasant, I will say. And then also it's kind of run right now by people who don't really know what's going on with technology. Everyone's trying to figure out how AI, I guess, will settle in this, and artists are not happy. I don't think the higher ups really know what they're doing, so be wary of that. The last thing I sort of wanted to flag to you all is that this is a business with products, and meaning that these products are sold around the world for consumption. And yes, there is an art part to it, but keep in mind that that these things are ultimately products as well. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say about that. It took me a lot faster than I thought it would. Let me see if I missed anything. Okay, I just checked all of my notes. I think that's everything I want to let you all know about. I will say that I was more on the executive producing side, and if you're an artist, if you are a director or cinematographer, storyboarder, all I will say is that it's also connection based for you all. I worked for a talent manager, so a manager of different directors, writers, and producers. Directors, writers, and actors, sorry. They only sign new talent that they either discover and think are great, or that other people sort of recommend them to. So that also is very much get yourself out there and make as many friends as you can. That is the key with this. And it's also a silver lining, is that you get to make a lot of connections that potentially turn into great friendships. So get out there. Students, do not worry about your grades. They do not matter. And yeah, maybe I'll see you further down the line. Yeah, if you all want, I can do a video about how to handle interview questions for film and TV interviews. I can help with how to maintain a connection and make it stronger that you made over a LinkedIn, or that maybe you found at an organization, or you met someone through an organization. I can sort of help with that. yeah, I could do a video also about just like how to handle yourself during a coffee chat, like during a first introductory meeting too. So let me know what you all want to see or what you all would love some advice on. Yeah, I'm gonna do the typical YouTuber disclaimer, but yes, all opinions and all like of my advice is based on my experiences. Someone might say something else, so take it all with a grain of salt. But with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. And also watch the video that I uploaded before this one too. Bye.